All right, good evening.
Good
We are
evening.
live, 7 o'clock. We're going to sit around and let a few people come and join us. Y'all ready to go for tonight?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jeff, you
buddy.
ready?
I'm
Or
ready.
Sally?
I'm
Good
ready.
deal.
Let's get
Good
going.
deal. Yeah, we're gonna wait just a few minutes and let a few people get in chat. We got one in there. It's not showing up on the chat, but Sharon's there. Uh, it's, oh, wait a minute. I got my glasses. That'll make it easier. I can't hardly see. Oh, oh, there we go. I can see. That makes things much better. All right, no glare, I hope. All righty. Good evening, guys and ladies of the chat. Uh,
How's that?
I'm Donnie with I'm Donnie with Standing Ghost Rescue, and we got Sister Sally and Brother Jeff with us tonight. I decided to bring them both back on to have just a general discussion. Let me dim this down just a little bit. Oop, wrong dim. I decided to bring them on to have a general discussion um, just about the impacts of seeing or encountering the things that Sasquatch does around our everyday lives. Good evening, everybody. Martha and
Hello, hello.
Denise and Justin, Marcia. We kind of had a rough start. Sally and Jeff were right on time, and I was running behind. I couldn't get it together. I'm on the roof again tonight for signal purposes. Uh, but we're going to do a little kind of a catch up for you guys that aren't familiar with Sally and Jeff. We've had Sally on before, and she has been dealing with uh, the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, her entire life, back from as far as she can remember. And where they live, they're in the mountains. They're in a mountainous part of West Virginia, and to this day, they still have activity. They don't have any bad activity. There's nothing negative or dangerous that happens, but they do have the where they come up and they mess with the house a little bit. They've taken hay that they've dumped out. It's just been a whole mirage of things that they've been dealing with throughout their life, and none of it's ever been negative. They've never been harmed. Nothing's ever
That's
left
good.
that any type of bad impression with them. But I want to get her to kind of do a brief history of what she has dealt with. And we'll go back and I'll give you just a brief idea, and I'm going to let Sally explain it because she was there. They were picking fruit on a farm, and they had grapes that they went to pick. And as you guys know, the grapes would grow up in the trees, and there would be little voids in them, little areas where you could see through them into the forest behind them. And as they were picking them, the family had seen what they thought were big stumps in the opening of the grapes in the cleared area. And a short while later, when they were leaving, they looked back at it, and the stumps they seen were gone. They were, they got up and walked off. But she was reaching her hand through the grapes, pulling grapes just within inches of these things. But her entire life, they've had them come up to the house. It's fascinating, and I'm going to let her tell you guys. She was the one that experienced. So, Sally, you want to share some of the things that you've been through again, just to refresh everyone?
Yeah, yeah. When I was on the farm, I've been thinking about it and stuff ever since then. Trying to figure out, everything that happened when we was down in there, and it was something else trying to do all them, get all them grapes and all that stuff up through there, and having, trying to have fun, and not being afraid, and just being careful about what's there in the woods, and I've had that
Yeah,
experience there. Go down to the farm, and like I was going to tell you the last time we went when we got done. we getting grapes along the road and everything like that, and having experiences along the road, not sure what's going on. We go down
Yeah.
into the farm and have a picnic and cookout. And then I was going to tell you, which I've got to, they have spring water down there. We go down and get fresh spring water and drink when we was down in there, and that made it feel more like family. It made you
Oh
feel
yeah.
good to go and drink spring water and to do things like that with your family. And then we took spring water back home with us, back in next to town where we lived, and that made it nice to bring like 3 or 4 jugs back. And it even tastes good with tea. I learned how to drink tea when I was younger, and it always tastes good with a cup of tea.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And uh, you guys where Sally and her husband live, they actually have to tank water in.
Oh,
They don't have
really?
city plumbing up there. I mean, she's in the mountains, and they don't have the the easy life of society today, where everything is done for you and you just push a button. They work, and they work hard, and they're constantly clearing tree limbs and debris out of their yard, and they're I couldn't do what Sally and her husband do. They work. They work real hard. And one of the events I want her to share with you, she has sent me some pictures, and I'm doing this strictly mobile. I don't have a way to share the pictures on here. We are working on getting internet and getting that squared away to where I'd have a little more options to do things like that. But on the phone, I'm not able to. But the picture she sent, the the wall on the house, the toward the roof is pushed in, and it's significantly pushed in to where they had to fill the cracks in the wall. And they live in a block house, but they had to fill the cracks with foam. And uh, I'll let her explain uh, how it happened. Her husband heard it that night. You want to?
Yeah, the a couple of days ago, we was sleeping. I was asleep and I didn't hear nothing. But the other night, or other towards the morning, he heard something hit the house and it scared him. He about jumped out of the bed. He said, "I didn't hear nothing of it, but it was like about 9 foot high on the house. Something either smacked the house that high or threw rocks up that high because there's a big dent in the top of the roof because I got up there to clean the chimney yesterday, and there's an awful great big dent in the metal on the roof, and we just had the roof fixed. I mean, there ain't no rocks on the roof, just sticks and stuff. It On the other side of the house, well, actually, in this one side we're talking about, there's like dents in the house where they throw rocks and stuff. I thought it was somebody shooting, and we did a test one day and threw rocks to see how it would um, hurt the house and stuff. And I mean, with us not being able to have the strength like they do, the rocks didn't hurt the house as much as it did if they would do it. But it was something else. I've got foam in them to keep because it some of them has come clear through the wall and letting cold air in here. So we've had
Good
to
Lord.
put foam in there.
Oh yeah,
And then
they
on
had
the other side of
the
the other side of the house, we got the house looks crooked. You said you and Jeff looked at it and didn't know what to think about how that was dented in. I mean, that's pushed in, but this side here, I mean, it's not in where the blocks is like off of each other. You can still see the blocks are still setting, but the house is not even. It's supposed to be a 30 by 30 house, and it's only a 30 by 28, I think now, because the blocks has been. It's like somebody squeezed the house or something.
yeah I've seen it in that picture you sent, and you can literally see instead of the wall, that cinder block wall being vertical, it's got a it's bowed in. It's got a big bow in it, and I've never seen nothing like that. She sent pictures of the where the rocks had hit the cinder block, and it looks like bullet. Somebody shot it with a gun. It's got chunks. Some of them look to be the size of a quarter, but there's concrete missing where the rock impacted it. But you could see the mark inside the stone, and it's not lead from a bullet. I mean, this is stone hitting stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing just to think the power it would take to do that.
Yeah, we
And
had to
y'all,
take rocks out of some of them out there on the one on this side here. I'm going to take pictures later and show you, send them to you to show you which side that they're cut. You know how it's which where they're coming from to the house, and then how it's going down to it. Um, and I've been seeing a pathway coming to the house now to the back door because I keep hearing like stuff out there at night, and we've had water sitting out in the back on the cistern, and it's been really something to have to carry water in here on the truck. We have a thousand or 100, was it 250 gallon or 210 gallon tank, but we only bring in 100 gallons at a time because it'll break our transmission. We've had our transmission come out of the truck 2 or 3 times from hauling water. So we've
Oh yeah.
have to bring in water. We bring in wood, and we've been trying to clear. And the other day, some more of my brush is missing, and I haven't even done any brush cleaning or anything because it's been cold here. And then we thought, well, we're still gonna start getting stuff together, and we've got wood chips out here where the state road bought us one year. We was going to use it for mulch and put it around flowers and stuff, and something's been carrying all that off. I used to have a great big pile, probably was about 8 or 9 foot high.
I'll come up with a chest.
It come up to his chest and stuff, and the biggest part of it's going. It's only probably about 2 or 3 inches thick now, and it's all been carried off.
Wow. Wow. And that I didn't know if Jeff had caught it on the last show when we had you on. But would you tell them about the incident with the hay when you guys carried the hay out and it got hauled
Yeah.
off? That is so fascinating.
No, yeah, when we up at where he lived at, when I got with him, we cleaned out underneath of the trailer and everything, and we had got rid of the dogs and the cats, and we thought, well, we just clean all this up so you didn't have rats and stuff out around the trailer or any, or so no other animals that come around. Then we boarded underneath the trailer out, but I took all the hay out 2 different days, and each time we've taken it out, it was going. It disappear. We take it out and we throw it over the hill there, and went out the next day to take the other load out, and every bit of it was down there. I mean, it looked like somebody just took and you know picked up the whole entire bale, and there wasn't any hay in the yard, just a little bit where it's running from the one part over the top of the fence. And it was like it had to have been a 9 foot person or something to step over the fence because the fence was like 4 foot, and it stepped over on the bank part and stepped down in the road. I think it probably only made 2 or 3 steps, but the hay went clear across the road, catty cornered, and went over the fence there, down across the fence, or across the creek. And the creek is, how long's the creek?
How wide's the creek?
Yeah.
No, it's about as wide as the driveway out here.
It's a pretty wide creek, and it went down behind the church there, and there was hay clear down behind the church going, and they was wondering how come there's hay. I said, well, something had carried hay off of our property down through there, I guess, for a nest or something. I told them I didn't know what would carry it off like that, and I didn't say anything to them about it climbing over the fence, but they could see where it was over, and they said, well, you got hay on your fence up there. I'm like, yeah, it's on both fences, on our side and across the road. And I guess it went clear over through with 2 or 3 neighbors before it ended, but I guess they took it wherever they was going to with it.
So they carried that off a long ways that y'all followed, right?
Yeah, I followed it the first week to go. We was afraid to go too far because of the neighbors. I don't want you on our land, so we went as far as we could. And it happened 2 different times. There was no hay left when we got done. It would look like somebody just took the underneath of the ground part and just took every bit of it. There wasn't anything, you couldn't even find a stitch of hay on either where it went over the fence.
Wow.
John or Frank says that there's caves going over.
If you know where to look, and go through the woods, there's caves up in there.
Oh wow.
Back in the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Hanging up one year. That's how I wrote about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going in any of the caves, not me personally, but there's a lot of people that believe that these Sasquatch, these Bigfoot creatures, that they live in the caves. What is your opinion on that? Do you think that they do?
Yeah, they probably do. There's been people said that they've seen them coming out of the caves. They don't know if they have live in with the bears, or if they have chased the bears out and the bears got a different cave and they've got a different cave. But there's like 4 or 5 different caves over the hill from where he lives at. They're great big things there,
Used to live.
or where he used to live
Wha-
at before we moved here.
Oh wow. Yeah, I was wondering on the last show I had you on. You had told me about you going behind the neighbor's property down by the creek, and you seen uh, a black figure that was squatted down. You think it was drinking water, and it had stood up and looked at you, or turned and looked at you, and
Down like on all fours, like a bear would be. But it was kind of a blackish looking, and kind of had a brown looking to it. Um, it's mostly brown looking to me. It had scraggly looking hair. Looked like it had
oh
been
yeah,
through a lot of brush or something like that. But it was down on all fours and was getting water out like with his hand, or I couldn't tell if it was by his hand or if it was just drinking by his mouth. I couldn't tell. I was kind of afraid when I seen what I seen, and I didn't whether to stand there and look any longer or not.
Did you see the front of the face? Could you tell if it had a muzzle on it, a snout like a bear or a dog would have?
Looked like no bear. It looked like something else without a bear nose on it. Cause I know what a bear looks like. Cause I've seen them in the wild and everything, and I've been out where they was at and seen them walking
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And I finally got corrected here a while back. A couple weeks ago, somebody had told me that we do have brown bear here, but they're not real brown brown. They're kind of like a black with a brown like tint, but they're not supposed to be in our area. They're supposed to be about 5 or 6 miles from us. And
right.
but I've seen that before. No, it's been a couple years ago before they brought them in. We
Yeah,
Black,
always
the
had
black,
brown,
well,
brown
black
bears.
bears
And
can be
they
several
had
different
black.
colors.
yeah,
What'd you
she had
say?
sent me a lot of pictures of bears that she's caught on their camera, and they got a lot of them. But every one that she had sent me, they're all black. Uh,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
Jeff was
they can be
saying,
a black bear
yeah,
can be brown or blonde, or they can be several different colors, depending on the gene pool, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
I'll stay
ones that
away
was
from
here
the
was
bears.
sick. Yeah, the ones that
Uh,
was here was sick. They put them down. They had the manes, and you could see it on the camera at night when they was out here by the porch. You could see it real good. And then the one was here in the daytime. It was like during the morning, probably about 6 o'clock, I think, 6 or 5 or 6 in the morning. It was daylight when I got the one on the camera, and you could see that he was sick. You could see the white like mange or something up in here on the camera, and
yeah,
you
oh
could see
yeah.
it like on the other ones that I had.
Now, Sally, y'all had found some handprints, didn't you, on the house or on the window?
Yeah, besides the window, they was like this up on the east side of the window, like the window here, and it was up like this on both sides, but it didn't touch the wood part. It was like on the cement. And I tried to get somebody to come while the prints are fresh, because I don't want to disturb anything. That if something stuck something there, I'd like to leave it there and let somebody come and look. But I couldn't get anybody to come and look or take me serious. And I've called people and they just want to carry on and act goofy about doing stuff. So I just said forget it. Maybe I'll find somebody one of these days to come and look or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure the Lord will send the right person eventually, and hopefully it won't take too long. But um, y'all had a little bit of everything happen where you're at now, and you've had tapping on the windows too, didn't you? Or tapping on the walls?
Yeah, yeah, we've had
Yeah,
them tapping on the walls on this one side over here where the house is. The when it hit it over here, it might have been like a football player or something, just hold up and hit it with his shoulder or something. I didn't know what happened because I know it's Chuck and me and him both scared us half to death. I thought we was having an earthquake or something. I went outside and everything outside on the outside was shaking. Well, not the ground or anything, but just the house Chuck and the lines on the porch. Or I got clotheslines outside because we have to haul water in, and then we have water in barrels where we wash clothes and clean with. We clean with the rainwater outside, and we don't have cable here. We have or satellite or nothing, and do have where we have regular phone, but we don't have satellite or anything. We usually use DVDs or something like that, or VCR tapes or whatever. Well, right now we have DVDs, and I use my cell phone most of the time to watch the YouTube and stuff because we can't afford everything with the
Yeah.
satellite and cable, and I can't get them to bring anything up here, and I can't get them to bring Warner up here. They want to charge $100 for to put the meter at the bottom of the road, and then there's not no guarantee that it'll come up here, and then they want $800 to run the line up here, and that's not even. I guess that's including the pipe and stuff. I don't know what it would cost, but we have to haul water up here, and the tank is about a 500-gallon tank, and we have to carry
Oh
like
yeah.
get 5 loads of water to put in it. We do go once a week though and do it. If it gets to getting bad, we'll go and fill it up. But
Oh
depending
yeah.
on what the weather's going to be, and then we have to carry wood, and I'm going to have somebody to bring wood because we haven't been feeling good here lately. I've had some things happening. We had tried to, sell our home and everything, and things didn't. It wasn't going to sell it to get rid of, to be away from the squatches. We're just getting where we can't hardly do nothing. I'm getting
Yeah.
osteoporosis and different, medical things, and it's just too much on my heart. And I had to cut
Miss
things
Sally,
down.
Miss Sally, did they ever you ever got a price on getting a whale up there? And drilling your whale? Can you
Yeah,
hear me, Donnie?
they
Yeah. Did
said
you?
something about do us a well up here, but it costs $10,000, and we don't have the money.
Good Lord.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's been trying to sell their home, and it had gotten so overwhelming on her. The stress was taking a toll on her, so they pulled it off market. They had a lot of people wanting it, but they would never commit. They just back out without telling her anything, and so they just they got out of that circus.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, well,
uh,
pregnant is when they wanted the house, or they come and look at it, and you'd have to leave like 8 o'clock in the morning because they want to come at 9 o'clock and look at it, and then they turn around and not want it, or they make a promise and said that they want it, and then they say, well, we're going to sign a contract. Then they back out at the last minute or the next day, and they come and measure the
yeah,
house to redo stuff to the outside of the house, and
You would
the house was all blocky outside and inside. It had paneling inside, but
you
it got moldy and stuff and made me sick, so we took it all out, and we got a new roof or new shingles on the roof this summer, and new water tank, and um, a new holding or new water pump and stuff done in here, and we upgraded the house and cleaned up stuff and put
well, I'm
everything back
gonna
away, and we packed ready to leave, and I got a cleared to get an apartment, and we can still get the apartment if we want it, but they didn't have any at the time. And they would back out, and it stressed me and him both out. He's looking gray, and I wasn't feeling good, and I got real
yeah,
bad sick and stuff from
uh,
it all, and I ended up sleeping
you
for
would
like 2 or 3 days because I was really
you
bad
would
and sick.
think a a researcher would like to have that place.
it's a beautiful property. Absolutely beautiful.
You know,
I was wanting to ask you something, and I heard, I think it was today when you and I talked. I heard Frank was talking about the smell. Y'all had an awful smell to come in the windows.
Oh
That's
yeah, it
he's
smelled. What you say? It smelled like a dog in a.
It smelled like a wet dog and a skunk.
a wet dog and a skunk.
that's
Now
sure sounds to me.
was that recently or was that back
That was,
before?
That was yesterday, wasn't
that
it?
was night before
The
last.
night before last.
Oh wow,
Man,
wow. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that to see if it was connected with when you guys did have the mold in the house, but y'all have taken care of that a long time ago. So
Yeah,
this
that's
is
been a couple
something.
years ago. I keep it
hey,
clean in here because I don't smell any of it. I'm gonna go in and clean them with bleach and stuff right away if I smell it. We've cleaned the whole house up since we put everything back, and I've got these
Yeah,
smelly things in here, blade things and candles and stuff, and I burn them in the evening. And there's times that you'll be sitting here and still have them burning, and you'll still smell a thing. I mean, right now I've got the porch lights on outside while I'm got the
there's
door open
only
so the phone will work right because I don't have the
yeah.
phone have this open and stuff, like the phone don't work right. And I shut a lot of people down off of the internet tonight so I could talk.
Oh yeah. Did you have something to say, Jeff?
yeah, they ain't much smells like that. Except maybe one or two things. Something feel like a wet dog and a skunk is usually one of them.
Mm.
Or a
Yeah,
bear. It could be a bear, but typically bear don't smell so much like skunk. Um,
Mm.
those things
yeah.
really
They end
stink,
up.
man.
Well, a few weeks ago when I talked to Sally, uh, Frank was talking about the smell. It had just happened. I guess right before I had called her, and it was so strong inside their home that they almost threw up. It was that
Good
putrid.
Lord.
Um, and now those smells that y'all had about a month ago that were so strong, did it smell the same? The wet
No,
dog and skunk?
it smelled worse than that. It smelled like a sewer septic tank and I don't know. He said it smelled like the puke plant. So
The puke plant? Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That's bad.
Uh, yeah, she had it had gotten so bad for a while on Sally that uh, she would go to take a bath, and them things would be outside that wall, outside that bathroom, and aggravating her. And did you want to tell them about that? Your experiences
yeah,
when you?
every time I go take a bath around 9 or 10 o'clock, sometimes they do it later, depending on what time I decided to go in there and bath. And I fill the water up, fill the tub up with water, and I get in there and start bathing and stuff, and I go to act like I'm getting out, and rocks would be thrown at the house. And then one night something hit the window or where the window used to be, and I kind of like got aggravated. And I'm like, okay, I know you're out there. You don't have to let me know. You're scaring me to death. I mean, it hit the house so hard, I thought he was going to come in the way they hit it the one night. And I
Donnie,
decided I'm going to go get me mothballs from around the house. And I put mothballs around there, and I don't have too much trouble with him, especially when the mothballs are fresh and they have that smell
Oh
to
yeah.
them. I put like 2 or 3 bags out there, and they don't bother too much with them out there. But and I don't hear no rocks thrown at the house when they're out there. But as soon as they melt out, then they're out there throwing stuff like they did the other night. Their mothballs is all melted from it raining. And
Oh
on
yeah.
this
Yeah.
other side of the house where it hit the other night, and then at the house in where I sent you, it looks awful up there when you get up here close to the roof and look at the whole tin up on the top's bent clear in. It looks about like your truck does up on the one side there when you get up close to it.
Oh, on the very top, like on where the
Yeah,
metal is on the roof. Oh, okay.
yeah.
I didn't know. When you next time you're up there, send me a picture of it. Once we get the internet situation squared away, I will be posting the pictures that you've sent me. I'd like to share them because the
hey,
holes in the brick. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
Donnie, I know a good, honest guy that's a researcher up there in West Virginia that might be able to help them. At least get them away from the house if that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy Arnold, hiking with Sasquatch. He's a good man. He's an honest
Who is
fella.
he?
He lives up there in West Virginia somewhere.
Mm.
Uh,
Who
Oh,
is
yeah,
he?
yeah. Will.
yeah,
So put it
his
on
name's
your
Tracy.
put it up on your
His name's
link here, Donnie. And I'll get it here in a little bit.
his name's Tracy Arnold. I had got
Yeah,
his number. I had to find it, but I talked to him several times myself. He's a good
I,
fella.
yeah. I'll get everything to you after the show, Sally. I'll make sure you have all of that. Jeff and I talk almost daily. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was wanting to get on on sort of a different area, considering these creatures, these Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you choose to call them. You've had experiences from these things your entire life, and
Yeah.
but nothing's ever been bad. Is that right?
Just when they hit the house and about scared us about half to death. Like
Yeah,
up at
yeah.
the
They.
trailer wherever he lived at in the other state before we come down here, they hit the trailer that one night. It sounded like a slate rock hit the trailer. And I mean, we
Oh
was listening
wow.
to that big thing with Matt Moneymaker and then Bobo and them in it. And we had just turned it off and thought we'd gonna go to bed because it was like 11 o'clock. And we're like, well, we're going to retire for the night. We turned it off. As soon as we turned the lights off, I mean, the trailer got hit real hard. And I mean, it
Yeah.
was something else. When it hit the trailer, it sounded like a slate rock. And I mean, it struck the whole trailer. he come out of the bed. I thought he's gonna.
I know I cleared the bed about that much.
He cleared the bed a
Yeah.
good bit. He said he
Yeah.
needed a new pair of underwear when it did that. He
Oh
said that was
yeah, I
his.
guess.
I just got laid down, got relaxed, started to doze off. More
Yeah, they scare
That first
me
experience of
constantly.
having anything like that happen that much. I mean, he had a bear tear the backside of the trailer off because he seen it outside, but that was in the dark, and we looked around and didn't see anything. So the next day we went out, and whatever it had in its hand, rock or whatever it was, it must have took it and moved it because it wasn't out there. We went out the next morning, but you heard it. It wouldn't hit the side of the trailer, and then it hit the good part on the porch, and you could hear it. It sounded like a rock. Is what it sounded like. We thought it was somebody
Oh yeah.
fooling around because somebody was low at the church a couple weeks ago or weeks before that and robbed the church, and we thought, well, maybe they're going to come up here and try to mess us up, but we was there.
Oh yeah. Now, out of all the experiences that you've had, has it affected you? Has it changed anything about the way you operate daily?
Yeah, I'm more cautious now to go out and be wary of looking because when you go outside, I mean, at his place, you had to look for snakes when you went outside. So I'm more scared of walking in his yard. You had to look down, but now with this all going on and not knowing what's down below, because I've heard trees down here times and I know stuff's down here watching, so I can feel it. And I'm all the time looking in the trees when I go out, and every time I go outside on either the back or the front, there's a tree knocked down below the house. It's like if he's outside. They don't do it with him,
Oh yeah.
but as soon as I'm go outside, I have a tree knock, and my neighbors
Oh
are
yeah.
not home in the daytime, only on the.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, pull your mic back just a little bit. We're catching your breathing. All right,
How
buddy.
about
Thank
that?
you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, sir. We're just catching
Has
that. I'm
she ever
sorry.
has she ever seen one in a tree, Donnie?
Have you ever seen one up in a tree yet?
Not seen anything except for that one that was over there stood up that one day, and I took off. It was like was I looking at what I was looking at, and I turned around, went back. I'm kind of gutsy about stuff. I went back to make sure what I was seeing because I thought, well, maybe I looked at it wrong because I do have trouble with my eyes
Yeah.
at times, and my sugar gets low. And I thought, well, I'm gonna go back around here and look, and it was stood the rest of the way up and kind of like looked at me like it's trying to scare me off. And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. And I went. That's why I went back around the house and stood. And I'm like, I better get out of here and go to the house. And he asked me what was wrong because I come in and looked. My face was red, and he goes, "What's the matter with you?" He said, "Was you running?" I'm like, "I ain't running out there in the yard with whatever's down over the hill because my mom told me never to run from anything because
Oh yeah.
things
Yeah.
like to chase you and stuff." And I trying to be,
Yeah.
walk quickly and get to the house. I mean, the house ain't there no more. Somebody, the kids had burned it down, but I kind of
Now
like,
that stood up on two legs.
yeah, stood up on two legs and just didn't stand up all the way, but it stood up like a bear would stand up. But it wasn't no bear because like it had a flat looking face. I mean, there wasn't no nose sticking out. I couldn't see his face real good. I was too
Oh
scared to
wow.
stand there and look any longer. I seen the fur and how scraggy it looked, and it was brown, and I was like, I'm getting out of here.
Now, did you have any feelings? Could you sense it? Is that what drew you over there to before
Yeah, I was
you
wondering
seen
what was
him?
in the water down there all the time because he said that there's all the time because we could sit on his porch and hear something constantly in the water. And I told him that the animals that around here ain't gonna be in the water. And you go and look, and whatever would be there would be heavy walking and it'd take off. But there was times that we'd sneak down there. Me and him would sneak down there, or my neighbor, and look, and we would like down there. And I would tease him. I'm like, it's
Oh
probably Bigfoot, just not thinking that anything would be around here in this area. And we
yeah,
went
I
and
think
looked,
y'all
and
are
he would
in the
always go
middle of
food
them.
over the hill. And I think it liked being in his area because he's all the time he didn't like something or he'd have a party or something up there. They throw the kids would throw stuff over the hill, so it's probably up there eating and everything. But he don't come in here anymore. And we cleaned up what we could up there at his place. I never did find our
Yeah.
garbage can or sack. As some of the neighbors has looked for it, and they still haven't found it. We don't know what happened to the garbage that it took.
That'd be 50-some gallon garbage.
Yeah, 55-gallon garbage bag, and We have no
Wonderful.
idea where it went to, or we can't even find it. I mean, it
Yeah.
had all that electric hot plates, and it had all kinds of junk in the trash. We cleaned the house out, and I have no idea. I can't find that bag of trash nowhere to put it down the
Yeah.
road.
That's the one. Something carried. Uh, if you guys didn't catch it, she had told me before we talk on the phone a lot, and Sally
I
said
lost
the
you, Johnny. I
bag.
can't hear you.
Uh, oh, am I here? Can you hear me, Jeff?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you? Okay. Can you hear me, Sally? I, I think Sally's mic may be off.
Can you hear me, Miss Sally?
I don't hear
Yes, sir.
neither one of you.
Okay, she'll have to restart. Um, she may have to sign off and then sign back on. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear you now. There you go. Can you? Oh, you got it off. Uh, you have to. Oh, yeah. You have to push the button right there. Push it. You got the mic off. Um, no, your microphone. Your microphone is off. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, something with her phone. It done it the last time we had her on. It's right at. I don't know how to get it over to her. Uh, you're okay, mate. Let's see. She'll come back on, and we should have her. Sorry about that. Uh, she's way up in the mountains, and her service isn't as good as what mine is, and mine is not good at all.
Yeah, Tracy Owens way up there in the mountains too in West Virginia. He might be
Yeah,
close to you.
pull your mic around, Jeff. I can't hear you.
I keep pulling. I keep pushing it up so
Uh,
you won't hear me. Hear me when I ain't talking. I forget. Yeah,
that's all right.
yeah. Tracy Arnold lives. He may not live far from her, man. He's way up in the mountains too.
Yeah, we'll,
West
we'll
Virginia.
after the show we'll talk about that and see. Um, we just got to be careful with her. They're very leery about who
Yeah,
comes up there, and
Tracy's a good man. I would trust him going to see anybody.
yeah, we'll
He's just
talk to her about that. Uh, while we're waiting on her to get back, Jeff, there's something I was wanting to talk to you about, and I wanted
okay.
your input on it.
Okay.
Uh, for you guys that didn't watch the Walking with Jeff video, Jeff and I went out to the plum tree area where I had my truck was hit with a log, and it creased in the top of my camper and done some damage to the crank system for the window. But we went out to, Jeff wanted to see the area. We went out and decided to come back later that afternoon when it was cooled down and do a walk. And we got there. It was beautiful, just like being in paradise. And the sun started going back. It was still up. It was cooling down. And it was just a beautiful time. And we had seen something and come up on it. When you had first spotted, Jeff had spotted something, and it looked like a werewolf. I don't know what else to say. It looked like probably a 6 foot tall werewolf, and it was squatted down. The minute that you seen it and you recognized that you were looking at a living creature, uh, what? How did you feel? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was obviously concerned because I was basically providing security for you while you could film or make a film. And so I'm
Oh yeah,
obviously looking for anything out of the ordinary, anything that could be a danger to us or whatever. And I didn't know exactly what I knew I was looking at something live, but I didn't know exactly what it was
let's see.
until you told me it had pointed ears. And as you backed away, you started getting that bad feeling. As you backed away back towards the lake, it heard you backing up, and it raised its head just like a little periscope up and then back down. That almost that quick. But what I saw was a full head of a large wolf. It never stood up. I only saw its head, but there's no doubt about what I saw. I saw it clearly. But it raised up, I think, to watch you because it heard you moving, and I stayed stationary. and it kind of
Yeah.
just caught me, I guess, standing there like oops, and went straight back down. But I know that's what I saw.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that is what I saw.
Yeah. Let me
Uh,
fill Sally in. Can you hear me now,
Yeah.
Sally? Okay. While you were gone, I was having Jeff the encounter where we went out the video walking with Jeff. The creature that we had spotted in there that looked like
Yeah.
a werewolf. I don't know what else to call it. Um, he was the one that spotted it, and up and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I was talking to him because I want to get his feelings of what he felt when that happened. As far as from what I can remember, Jeff, you've never actually seen anything in
no,
all your outings.
I never even seen a Bigfoot before, Sasquatch. That was my first encounter, and and I really believe that these things kind of people talk about these things. You hear them in stories, and I really they kind of creep me out. I never liked the werewolf movies, let alone that anything looked like a real werewolf. And
Yeah,
but when I saw it, I had no fear, and that even surprised me. But that wasn't the time to be panicking, and I never took my eyes off of it, and I had to drop on it, and I'm pretty sure the thing knew that. I
yeah,
never sensed any aggression from it at all, and I never sensed that it was evil like so many people say. All I know is when it raised that head up, it knew the jig was up. It knew I had it covered, and
yeah,
but it looked. I felt like it just wanted us to be left alone. That's what I felt like, and
yeah. And
it,
for you guys that don't know Jeff, um, he he pulls like security detail for some of the other groups that go out and they look for these creatures. Jeff is well versed in firearms. He's got significant training behind him. And when I tell you he was well armed when we went in there, that's an understatement. Uh, it would have been really rough if one of them things were to try to attack us. Jeff went in there and he didn't have a, a little pistol in his hand pointing at this thing. He had a long gun, a lot of rounds in it, but it was set for business. And as you know, I do carry a firearm. I carry a handgun with me. And recently, through the help of Brother Jeff, I have upgraded. He has blessed me and my family tremendously, but he helped me out. He has seen some of the stuff that I've captured before. Uh, and Jeff knows me well. And he was worried that something would happen to me because I get scared. I get tremendously scared for you guys that do follow me. These things, they frighten me. And he wanted to make sure that I was able to defend myself because usually I go alone since my son passed. So I don't have a group of people to go with me. I've got only a couple, but they're never available on the days that we plan to do this. So I'm always alone. And well, he took care of me. So Jeff is, when he goes out there, he's got about 50 extra pounds of weight on him, and it's usually firearms and ammunition. And if that thing would have
like
come at us, I have no doubt that he wouldn't have made it far. But where Jeff said he didn't sense no fear from this thing, I didn't either. It scared me because these things that they frighten me. I'm just naturally afraid of them. But there was no feeling that we were in danger. I didn't sense
no,
that at all
I never
until
felt
we
that.
were leaving. And I don't know, Sally, have you watched that video, Walking with Jeff?
Yeah, I watched it a couple times, and what I seen was when you first was on there, I could see that thing. It looked like a wolf or whatever it was laying there. It would put
Yeah,
its head down for a little bit and look, and then it would like peek through the grass or something, and then
Yes, ma'am.
there was something else behind it, and it walked back, stepped back in the woods about with about two steps
yeah,
back. There was something else there with it, and that thing went moved back in the woods a little bit too after you guys decided to move, and you
yeah.
could see
That
it.
one, That one scared me. I mean,
Donnie,
that scared me bad.
I, I need to go off for just a second. There's a flashlight coming up through the pasture back here behind me. I need to see what that is, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. But yeah, that when that had happened,
I'm gonna step
the
back out. Throw my going nowhere.
oh, you got it. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Um, when Jeff had spotted that creature, I couldn't see him. He's a big man. I mean, he's tall. He's just a big man, and so I couldn't see over the bush that was in front of me that he was seeing over. So I had to kind of move around to the side, and I thought I had it in frame. I was filming, and I told Jeff I said something to him, but when I spoke, it had heard me, and it was actually to the right of where I was filming, and it turned its head and looked directly at me. And so I never seen the second thing that was with it until I spoke to Jeff, and it turned its head to look at me, and the second one just behind it turned its head,
Yeah.
and that it scared me.
Yeah, there was two of them. It was like the one that with it was black, and then the one that was across the pond there, it was brown looking. You could see it,
Yeah,
but there was two. There were two things with it too. There was like it seemed like there's three or four, or maybe five or six of them there. You could see them different places. Every time you'd move, it's like they followed you, but you didn't see them all the way. You didn't mostly notice them until you was at the ponds, and then as soon as you started leaving the ponds and going back over to the pond, and then getting ready to leave, like you said, everything changed.
yeah. When we were leaving, it really got frightening for me. It was getting dark really quick, and Jeff's light just it wouldn't come on. I mean, it wouldn't come on at all. And even with a dead battery, it will glow a little bit, but it did nothing. It was fully charged, a brand new light.
That's your voice
And
again, Donnie.
yeah, I think that's on your end. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me in the chat? Let's see. Are you guys in the chat? Can y'all hear me? Let's see, Martha and Denise and Butch. Hey, Butch, Denise. Okay, yeah, they can hear me.
I still
I
can't
don't
hear
know.
you.
Yeah, that's on your end. Let me bring Jeff back in.
My
There you
apologies,
are.
folks.
That's okay. That's I don't know how. Yeah, it's your mic, Sally. Your mic. I don't know how to tell her. I don't have a way to send her.
Did you lose her again?
Yeah, yep, and I don't have a way to. Oh, to send her. Thank you, B. Lynn. Thank you.
She's not muted.
Yeah. No, it's not an app. This is actually a web page that we do this stream through. It's the same one most of the channels doing this type of thing.
StreamYard, right.
Yes, StreamYard.
I can't hear you or Jeff, either one.
Yeah, it's your. I don't know how to even tell her. Gee whiz. I'm on the roof. I don't have anything to write with. Can somebody
back out?
Can somebody write in the comments in capital letters for her to?
Maybe she go. She's back.
Okay. Yeah, she'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, we had the same problem last time she came on. Her signal's not that great.
Somebody was back there in the pasture on the four-wheeler. The girl owns them horses, and it looked like a light to me coming up behind me. So I just wanted to make sure what that was. I don't trust much of nothing anymore, man.
Yeah, Martha just put it up, but she backed down. So, but that's no problem. She'll come back on. Thank you, Martha. Then we have We have a large portion of our family here tonight. Thank you all for joining us. I love you guys.
I tell you,
This was,
they're some really nice folks, man. They left me some of the nicest comments, and they were just so very cordial and so very polite,
we,
and I really appreciate that more than you know. Y'all are nice
we
folks.
oh, absolutely. I'm in agreement with you. I've had so many people from other channels contact me and just overwhelmed by uh, our channel, by the people, the heart of the people that we have here. And I tell them that, these aren't subscribers. These are family. These are my family,
Absolutely.
our extended family. And I love them. And
I can't
I
believe how
enjoy
much
doing this.
how many you have now. I was really shocked by that when I saw that, how quick it's grown.
And we don't have any bad people. And what a blessing. I never thought that would ever
Oh,
happen. There
that is
she
a
is.
blessing.
Okay, let me bring her back on. See how there she is. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, that's just the connection. So if it gets to where you can't hear, then you'll just have
Yeah.
to back out and come back on. Uh, when we're
Yeah,
real
I
cloudy
unplugged the
here, it's the
phone.
same thing.
Yeah, I unplugged the
Uh,
phone because the battery's getting hot. 'Cause I usually leave it hooked up whenever we're doing live chat, but I unhooked it. The battery's
yeah,
getting hot, so I thought maybe that would help it.
yeah, that ain't no problem. I was wanting to get uh, Jeff from where what all we experienced that night as we were coming out when it got really bad. Pull your mic down.
That's all
Uh,
right. That was the
uh,
only part. That was the only time I did get really concerned. I was concerned at that point.
yes, yeah,
Um,
I was too, but I'm always that way. It's just my nature. Uh, yeah, B just uh, put in the chat my dedication by sitting on the roof just to get a signal. She said it's awesome. Thank you. I love doing this. I love being here with you guys. And there's so many unanswered questions about this topic. And if I live to be 200, I don't think I'll ever get even a quarter of them answered. But I wanted to run some stuff by everyone tonight before we end this, and we're not going to end it yet. But I do want to run some stuff by everyone. Jeff, what I was wanting to get was from you the compared to the way you feel on a daily basis. How were you feeling inside, mentally and emotionally, when we started having all the activity and you spotted that thing?
well, I actually surprised myself, Donnie. I had no fear whatsoever when I come face to face with that thing, and I really thought I would have. But I also know that you can't run, and we were way back there, and it wasn't a time to be panicking. Uh, I,
Oh no.
there's no doubt in my mind I could have shot that thing and killed it. There's no doubt in my mind I could have. I,
Oh yeah.
I almost sensed it knew that. And like I had to drop it, and it simply just never. I wouldn't have been justified in shooting it. It didn't try to attack me. It didn't
Right.
threaten me. And I had no justification to do that, and I didn't. I simply I poured that same behavior back to it, and we backed away to a safer area. Now I'm
Uh,
not going to say I wasn't a little excited at that point, knowing what I just saw and it being almost
yeah.
unbelievable. Or really, I just didn't. I wasn't sure that thing was even real. To be honest with you,
Yeah. I want to put
till
this up right quick, Jeff. We're not going to be doing the questions just yet, but I seen this and I want to put it up. This is from Jennifer Noble. She wants to know if we have plans on going back to where we saw that thing. And
I,
uh,
I I'm not.
Jeff,
I'm not. I would go back, but I'm gonna go back armed a little differently when I go back.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna have.
absolutely.
I'm not gonna have. I'm not gonna have the same rifle I had when I went in. I'm gonna be a little. It's gonna be a little different if we go back. And that's
Yeah,
just for our own. That's for our own safety.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Then, usually when people encounter these things, from what I hear, the people I talk to, and I get so many emails and messages. I get so much people sharing what they've experienced, what they've encountered, the changes that it's had on them. And I wish I could get these people to come on, but it was their choice. They don't want it shared for fear of ridicule. There's a few of them, it's their position, their career, and I understand that. And I'm not going to put anything up that someone doesn't want me to share, doesn't ask me to. But everyone, I would say 95% of the people that have encountered these things feel that these creatures have the ability to either put something on us, like a beacon,
A tracker.
to where others of their type or their kind knows that uh, we we have experienced them before, or something in us gets unlocked that they can sense. And animals pick up on us, all animals. And if we would stay away from all of the drugs, the alcohol, the tobacco, the junk that pollutes our bodies, if we were to stay away from all of that, I honestly believe that we would be so much in tune with nature and with the wildlife that we would have those abilities, maybe not as strong as a pet or a deer or any other animal, but we would nonetheless have that ability, that where you can feel the intent of another animal or another person. And I don't know, I'm kind of leaning toward it triggers something within us that changes our intent. And when we go out into these areas, they pick up on that change. And after I encountered that first one, my bad encounter, that was the one in Marianna in 2011. After that happened, I can't go. I don't see him every time I go. I don't encounter him every time. But if I go into the woods, say 10 times in a month, you can bet at least two of them I'm going to have some type of activity. And it doesn't matter whether I want it or not, it's going to happen. But I'm not so sure about why that is. But they have, I think it's because of that encounter I had. When I go out, I know where they're at. I can almost feel them.
He,
And it feels like a pressure, and you can pinpoint where they're at. And that I don't understand. I don't know why that is, but I've heard it from others also. So I know I'm not the only one that's kind of out there in left field. But I don't know
maybe
what.
maybe I'm just dead inside. I never felt anything. As far as I didn't react to them at all, pretty much until we heard those whistles. Now those whistles coming from five different directions, converging on us in this truck. I did not take that as being escorted out of the woods. I
No.
really and truly interpreted that as reinforcements were on the way, and that unnerved me more than anything. I actually
Yeah.
felt like I was going to have to fire my gun before I got in that truck, and I didn't. Man, I'm gonna
I'm
tell you
glad
that.
you didn't.
Oh, me too.
I'm so glad that you didn't. Uh,
I wouldn't say I was scared, but I was more than concerned at that point. Uh,
yeah, that when you pointed out that first one, I never I never knew that he was there. I never sensed anything from it. It was like it was just a void. When we left, the one that came out behind us, that big tall fella,
yeah.
I felt it. I thought
I think
people,
you probably
somebody was
shafted me
staring
or
at
something.
us.
Yeah, you
Uh,
felt it. Y'all was
well,
feeling
I
sick at
just
that point.
yeah, and I felt like somebody was right there on my heels, staring at the back of my head, and that's when I brought it to your attention. But I wanted to ask Sally about if she has ever experienced. Have you ever experienced anything to where you knew one of these creatures was near you without hearing it or smelling it? Have you ever had a feeling like that?
I have feelings that something was there, but I didn't know what it was because I kind of get this scared feeling in my hair, my back of my neck would stand up, and I didn't know why, and I kind of like
Yeah,
cringed a little bit because I wasn't sure what was going on. It wasn't a bad
Yeah,
feeling, but I knew something was there.
like like you were being watched, like
Yeah,
somebody staring
like
at
you
you.
can watch and you
Yeah,
look all over. Like I've taken the field glasses and looked everywhere, and just like I was telling you, I've got them pictures and stuff, and I've looked all over them pictures for stuff because the camera will come on. I cannot get one night picture anymore. I've got apples out there for the deer, and the
yeah.
night camera part. I mean, the camera will work, but it doesn't take any night pictures at all. And I know if something's out here, 'cause I'll sit here to watch a movie or anything with the lights off, and when I do, it'll I can hear something outside the wall right here, messing with the thing where we got to tie the door open up with. Cause I'll turn the light on out here and it'll quit, and the things out here, the chimes will quit blowing, and well, they're not even blowing. It's real quiet out here. You don't hear nothing. I know something's
Well,
around. I have a very, weird feeling like something's around, but I don't. At times I don't hear nothing, and there's times I'll hear something over by the refrigerator. I'll get up and go look, and there ain't nothing over there. I haven't got a
yeah.
smart aleck mouse in here, and I think I got him taken out in the garbage bag because I got him. Haven't heard nothing for a while.
The yeah, what she was saying, she had told me recently. She puts out a big bowl of fruit and goodies for the animals, and she's been getting deer and squirrels and bears and just tons of wildlife on camera. But lately, nothing's on camera at all.
Not
But
at night. I get it in
some
the daytime, but nothing at night.
but something is taking the fruit though, right?
Yeah, I had the camera on the apples here the other night or last night, and not one picture. I got everything come back was all blank. Just got one picture where we had been outside in the yard earlier, and where he got water and brought it in for the toilet, which we don't really have to do that. We use city water for that, but there was
Let me
a
see.
couple of blank places on there, and it should have had something on there.
Let me. There's a question on here for you,
I
Sally.
might have to change batteries or something.
Uh, Let me see. There it is. Okay, this question is for you, Sally. Uh, B. Lynn says, did you notice if the surrounding area went unnaturally quiet before or after that encounter? I think she's referring to the what you saw down by the creek. Did you notice it just going dead quiet before you seen
I
that?
I didn't hear it being in the water or anything when I come down through there. It was quiet, but I heard a little. Well, it was quiet for a few minutes, and then I heard like the water being disturbed, but not real bad. Like when I seen it, started seeing it picking up water, like is it drinking or
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was doing at the time. But it was real quiet there, and I kind of like got afraid because I was hearing the birds walking down through there, and the bugs and stuff was flying, and all of a sudden everything when I got in that one part between our house and well between his house and the house that was over here, everything got quiet, and I didn't even see a bug. It got real quiet for a few minutes,
Oh,
and
wow.
I decided to go look and see because I heard the noise, and I'm like, what in the world is going on over the hill here? And that's when I seen something down there, and that's when I took off. I'm like, I'm not sticking around, but it was
Yeah.
quiet. I
I
mean,
don't.
Good
I don't
idea.
blame you. Yeah.
there's times
Absolutely.
here, there's times here in the daytime it'll be real quiet. You won't hear birds. Well, I haven't even been seeing birds like I used to. We used to see birds all the time, and the last month or two, or actually this summer, we haven't hardly seen anything. I haven't even. I just the other day is the first time I've seen a butterfly in a while. I think it was a monarch butterfly, one of the orange ones, and then I did see a yellow one earlier in the spring, and I
Uh,
haven't really seen anything. And I haven't. I did see the small woodpeckers the other day, and I haven't seen the big ones. Like I like watching them fly out here. I stay
Oh
inside 'cause I'm
yeah.
afraid to run over.
Yeah.
But
I want to run something by both of you, and I want to get your input on it. Um, but also my family that's in the chat. This is something that's been weighing on me lately, and I just something for you guys to think about. I don't know my thoughts aren't solid yet, but there's been a lot that's changed in me with some stuff I witnessed a month or two ago, and with these creatures, the
Mm-hmm.
Sasquatch, the Bigfoot. My thought before this year, before these other events that I've seen, was that they are, the DNA that people have pulled, some groups have pulled, and these organizations shows that the there is a human mother and an unknown father is shown in the DNA for the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I, like so many others, thought maybe they were descendants. They were from the lineage of the fallen angels breeding with the human women.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I was
thought,
thinking about that the other day because of I've asked Linda Howe about some stuff, and I asked her if she ever encountered anything about the big angel that's supposed to be tied or chained down in Alaska, and she's going to do some more stuff on Alaska, and she said something about that there's other Bigfoots and things up there in Alaska, and she's coming up with more and more all the time with the mutilations in and on the Sasquatches and stuff being taken up in the oh in the alien spaceships, and you don't know if it's government or if it's real aliens or what. And she's trying to get the
yeah,
government to do everything, tell us the truth about it. I'd like to know the truth myself about everything.
yeah, me too. And where I was going to, I was leaning toward the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch. I don't know if they're the same creature. I think they are, but these big, hairy, giant things that horrify me. I was thinking because of where we are biblically, we are in the end of days. We're nearing the time that Christ returns, and just the world's going to go crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
the Bible says that God is going to send the angels down, and one will have the key to the gate, the lock on the bottomless pit. And he's going to open up the doors to the bottomless pit and let out the beasts that are within it. And their job is to wreak havoc and chaos on mankind that's turned their backs upon God. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but by orders of the Father, God Himself, He tells them you're not allowed to harm anything else, not even the plants, not even the blade of the grass. Only the people that have turned on Him.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me to thinking about the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, and what are they known for? Is tearing up trees, breaking trees off, snapping limbs off. So that kind of pushed me, my way of thinking, it's kind of pushed me away from that. And now I'm back to point zero again. And I don't know if, um, I don't know what they are. And I'm thinking about, I went all the way back to Noah. God had Noah build a boat 450 foot long and 75 feet wide, 45 feet deep, not for Noah, his wife, his children, and their wives, but for the animals. He wanted the animals saved. Noah's family could have survived on a 50-foot boat for the flood. God loved the animals so much, he wanted them saved. Now, where we're at today, you get into the outback of Canada and one of these huge, wide open forest areas in these mountains. There's not civilization for thousands of miles. There's animals all over out there. What happens if something like a grizzly bear were to be hibernating? Spring gets here, he goes to come out of his cave in the mountain, and there's been a mudslide um, during the snow melt or whatever they call that, when the snow melts at the end of winter, and big boulders block the entrance to the cave, and he can't get out. You can't.
Probably
There's
dying.
There's no way to get an excavator or heavy equipment in there. You can't fly 130 ton crane on a chopper. It's impossible. So how do they save that bear? God's not going to let him just die and suffer. Uh, but these Sasquatch, they have the power and the physical, just the size and the brute strength and the intelligence that they could easily clear that cave and release that animal. They could handle, a big Sasquatch could handle a full grown grizzly quite easily.
Yeah,
And
they
so
break
it's,
in there. We seen a thing where they break in, like when I seeing Ivan Marks, he went to look
oh
up and
yeah,
see how come a bear was dead or how it died, and its neck was broke. There's not no way that would have happened with the way they was fighting. He had to pull the
yeah,
bear's neck back and break it.
yeah. Well, that's what got me to wondering if maybe God sent them here with purpose, and they would have to have a supernatural strength to handle a 1,300 pound grizzly or one of these huge bison or a moose.
Mhm.
It would have to be a very large, very powerful animal that has hands that could patch wounded legs and do these types of things, but also have the intelligence to know how to do it. And Sasquatch fits into all of that. And it's got me now to where my mind is a tangled mess. I don't know which way to go. Um, if God placed him here with good
I was
intent,
listening to a guy
uh,
the other day, and he was saying that the Sasquatches are descendants of Cain, and
yeah,
because he
I've
had
heard
hair on
that too.
him. And then the one, there's always been power out there through the Lord because the one guy that was in the Bible, I always forget their names, but I know who they are. He had a lot of strength and stuff because of he had that um, long hair, and as long as his hair was long, he had strength and he was hairy and stuff too.
Samson.
So
Samson.
Yeah,
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 Samson,
that was Samson, and they
until his
they
I
hair
love
got
that.
long,
removed his
I love
he
it.
had
eyes, or
strength.
I
They
love that
cut his
story.
hair. Yeah, what's her name, Delilah or something? She cut his hair, and then he lost all his strength. And
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
a lot of
Delilah.
power back years ago, and I've been watching this guy. It's on the Destination Unearthed, and he said that all of our history is totally wrong on what we have learned in our history books, and I believe him because he showed proof of
yeah,
this and proof of that, and who got killed, and about Jack the Ripper in London, and I mean they're coming up with stuff. They're finding, found somebody. I don't know the disciple who it was. I didn't get to watch it all, but found somebody that had died, and they tried to say that the person died naturally, and found out that they had been murdered. And
oh yeah,
it's like all the earth is like the earth is giving up the dead, like the ocean's giving up the dead, the everything's giving up the dead, and the coins and the whatever's in the ocean, the plates and things, and ships and stuff are coming up. They found another ship the other day, and it
yeah.
was
We're in
on
an
the
odd time.
I
like
got a question of Miss Sally, Donnie.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
Miss Sally, did you crochet that pretty that blanket up there behind you on the wall?
yeah, I was going to address that. No, it's a blanket I got from the dollar store.
I figured you might have crocheted that. That thing sure was pretty.
Yeah, it's really nice. I was going to request, and I had that wrote down here. I was going to let everybody know that I got that from the dollar store for five
Oh, good
dollars.
on that one.
There you
We've
go.
got I got another curtain up there, but I got it covering up because the sun comes in here.
Yeah.
Frank's want me to show you this picture. I don't know if you can see it or not on
I
here.
drove it.
His drawing. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's what the I don't know if you see the Sasquatch is
Oh
in it
yeah,
or not.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the grapes when she was picking grapes and the stumps were behind it.
You
Uh,
see the little like look at squares like where to go to right there.
yeah.
And there's grapes and stuff in between these here places here. Where am I at? Right in here. There's grapes in here, and the splotches was like seeing the grapevine went up here and curled and went back down. But I thought about there being a tree, and he drew a tree, and I'm like, well, that brought brought my memory back on the tree and everything.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
had the tree
That's neat.
here, but then it was I draw another picture today, if I can find it here. This was what it looked like with the berries on it. I mean, when I got done, there wasn't no berries on it, but I don't know if you see them or not. I drawed some with, that's just with the vines there. See the berries on it?
Oh yeah,
Without the,
yeah. I see that.
that's it without the stumps and stuff being in front of it.
Yeah, that was after when y'all went up the hill and you look back and the what y'all thought
I
were
kind of
stumps, they were gone.
yeah. I'd like
And
to get
Well,
something in color. Get something
Miss
in
Sally,
color better.
Miss Sally,
oh
when you was picking them and them stumps was there, did you smell anything then?
No, well, I smelt was the moss and the dead wood and stuff there in the woods. There was like a dead tree, like laying there in front of the vines. It was like all the vines was like right in here, and these things was standing like this, and the grapes was like in between them. And I don't know, something could have been standing, like that with its arms down, and you don't see it, just with
oh yeah,
and it, like it
So that can
all
be
fit
just
together.
motionless.
It kind of like
oh yeah,
surprised me because when I walked up on the road there and looked back, that them stumps and stuff was going, and I could see the grapes. That's what my uncle. I mean, we got the biggest part of what we could see, and I even went around the
yeah.
back and tried to get them, and it was like the stumps was in the road on the other side. You couldn't, but the tree, oh, what was it, the vine, come down around like this and stuff on the back, and you couldn't get
Oh
in
yeah,
to get them. You had to be on the front side of the grapevine. I mean, the grapevines was probably about, oh man, about like that, and then some of them was like real small,
yeah,
and some the grapes up there, some of them was probably about this big. We
Man,
had
that's
some
big
great
one.
big because they kept putting fertilizer and stuff in the woods to make them grow.
yeah, yeah.
Was them
Sally,
stubby down?
I want to open up and let some people put some questions in the chat. Are you guys okay with that, Jeff, Sally?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we passed an hour and 15 minutes, and I know a lot of people have to work tomorrow, and they want to get questions in. So if y'all have a question for uh, Sally or Jeff or myself, if you have a question at all, just if you would please put it in caps. I'm trying to read the screen of a phone, and I'm old. My eyes ain't so good no more. Uh, I know we had some earlier, but they're way back. I don't know if I'd be able to scroll up that far. And we've got a lot of people with us. It's a good night. There's Dee. Oh, we love you, Dee. That's Dee from Lady in the Woods.
Oh, hey, Miss
She
D.
had she had just went through a horrible time of flood, and they lost everything. And
Hello, Miss D.
boy, that was a mess.
Bless your heart. It's
Um,
awful.
and there's Pappy, my brother
Hey, Pappy,
Pappy.
Pappy Two Bears.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Pappy Two Bears.
Oh yeah, and there's
How you
Tracy.
doing, brother? Hey, Tracy.
Okay, and we got one from Malachi. It says, "Hi, Sally. Do you hear them at night?" Uh, I guess I got half the question, but she want to know, do you hear them at night?
Yeah,
Yeah,
once in a
yeah,
while we
yeah.
do.
We have them in the night once in a while.
Yeah, the other night he heard when I was out here watching TV, and the other night he heard chattering in the corner of the house. I mean, they wasn't close to the house; he was down below in the woods, but he could hear chattering, and I could hear it one time. And
Yeah, it sounded like it was trying to talk or say something, but couldn't get it
Yeah,
out.
Oh wow, the chattering. Yep. Uh,
yeah.
Pappy Two Bears says, Sally, were the handprints oily? Did they appear to be
yeah,
oily? They did.
yeah, they was real oily on both sides of the window. I've seen bears touch stuff before, and that wasn't no bear track. It was on the window. I mean, it was bigger than what it is now, but it's been about 2 or 3 years, and I've been trying for like 2 or 3 years to get somebody to come and look at them. I had pictures of them before of them when they first was on there because they're bigger than what they are now, and
Oh
because they
yeah.
kind of like got away, and I lost them off of my other phone.
That's all right. Yeah, Malachi again wanted to know when you hear the sounds at night, do you get up or do you just stay in the bed?
It depends on how the sound is. If it's aggressive like sound, I'll stay put because I'm kind of like feel froze to the bed. And if it's not too bad, I'll get up sometimes and look. Like when I go to bed or something, I'm out here by myself and he's in the other. I mean, we're not too far from
Oh
each
yeah,
other. I'll hear like a noise or something outside, and sometimes I'll get up and turn the light on. And there's times that we'll hear a great big racket outside, and I'll go and turn all the lights on, and it'll quit. But they don't like the lights on; they'll start throwing rocks.
yeah, that's the truth. Uh, and here's
Yeah.
B. Lynn has a question for you, Sally. She wants to know, do you feed the Bigfoot, and do you think it's going to be likely dangerous if they don't get their food sometimes?
No, they don't seem like they actually bother for that. It's just times I don't know if it's because of what was out in the yard, close to the woods. Like we had cabinets and stuff out there close to the woods. I don't know if they didn't like that or not. I know if we have anything below the house, like he was working the other day out here, and one time he forgot enough wood below the porch, and we got rocks stowed at us about part of the night. And so we
Oh
learned
wow,
after that to keep all the rocks and stuff, I mean, all the wood and everything away from the back porch, even though it's
yeah,
close to the house. I can't put anything under the house because it'll pull everything out from under the house. And, it's not supposed to be here.
yeah. They got Butch Grimes wants to know, have you seen them up close yet?
Oh, the closest I've got is what I've seen over there, and that's the closest I want to get.
Yeah, by the drinking the water.
uh,
Let's see. That's the one that was drinking the water that you seen, right?
yeah. Yeah, that's the closest. I think I was probably from, oh, I was probably about 100 or 200 feet away from him. How far was he?
Probably about 75 feet, maybe 50.
Oh, he said about 75 feet or 50 foot.
Oh wow, yeah, that's close enough. That's for sure.
That's Miss
Bama
Joyce.
Bigfoot.
That's
Huh?
Miss Joyce.
Yeah, that's Miss Joyce. Bama
Yes, it is.
Bigfoot. She says, Sally, have you noticed them around more when it's been raining?
No, I don't hardly hear anything out of any of the animals when it's raining. I don't hear anything, especially at night. It's real quiet. If
That's
they're out there
always
when
a
it's raining, if they're out there when it rains or anything, it'll smell like a wet dog or something. But I've never really had them. I mean, if they's out there, I didn't know they's out there. But if I do know they're out there, I smell them.
oh
Miss
yeah.
Joyce is Miss Joyce is a smart
Let's
lady,
see.
man. I've learned from her.
Yeah, I had another one here and I'm trying to find it.
Now, they was
Um,
talking about having food out and stuff. I don't put anything out. I had some stuff out in the front here for the deer, but I'm very, cautious about putting anything outside at all for the deer or anything because I know they'll track, Bigfoot in here and then they'll want to come
yeah,
in all the time. I know something was getting stuff down below too when we had it bird feed while putting um bread
yeah,
down in the feeder for the birds, and something was getting it. I thought at first it was a deer, but you most of the time you can catch them on the camera, but I couldn't catch anything on the camera when it was getting the bread down there.
Now the that camera you had told me about it the other day, how something's taking the what you're putting in the bowl, but the camera's not getting it. Is the camera in the same position that it has been before, or did
Yeah, I
you
keep
move the
doing
camera?
the same thing, and I got this stuff from the food pantry the other day. I don't like the taste of it. It's like nuts and dried well, it was raisins and nuts and dried bananas in it, and I don't like the taste of it, so I always give it to the animals, to the
Oh
squirrels.
yeah,
I see the squirrel eating it the other morning, but I was trying to catch something else, trying to catch a squatch or something for getting in it, and I didn't get no
yeah.
night pictures. Next morning, I seen the squirrel sitting out there and eating it, and I'm like, "Good morning, you out here eating that?" Because it was a big bag of stuff.
That's yeah. Kim would be over there eating it. Yeah, Stan had asked me a question here of Stan Lofton. He said, "Did you find out who the men were you came upon with the game warden?" No, Stan, I have not. Um, I don't remember the letters that were on the patch that was on his uniform. Um, I wish I would have taken a picture of it, but I was nervous. I was really nervous. I didn't know who them people were. And so I decided I'd just get out of there. I've
Good
never seen him
idea.
again. Yeah, I've never encountered him again. So that's a good thing. Yeah, and there's B again says, oh, that's good. She thinks that feeding or gifting them is a very, very bad idea. And I agree with B fully
That's
on
what
that
I'm
one.
feeling now.
I do too.
And there's Anna wants to know, Sally, have you had any wood knocks, whoops,
My thing
etc.?
went
Any
out
of the
again. Don't hear nothing.
Uh-oh.
oh, you're gonna have to jump off again, reset.
I don't hear any whoop knocks. I hear the pounding on the trees, but I don't hear no whooping or anything like that. Except for I hear like
Okay,
something making a noise over the hill. I can't hear
yeah,
you guys at all.
yeah. Uh, let's see.
I plugged it in so because it was getting down.
I'm look. Yeah, that's her phone is acting up, and there's no way for me to tell her that she's messed up. This is all. Let's see. Here's one from Malachi. This is for all three of you. What color are their eyes? Uh, the ones that I've seen were all black, except for the eye shine. Most of the eye shine was silver. I did see an orange, kind of an orangey yellow eye shine. That was here at the house on the north end. But I don't know what the eye shine was from. I did not see the actual creature that was creating it.
Hey,
Uh,
Donnie.
yes, sir.
If you don't mind, I just like to tell Bama Bigfoot how much I appreciate her because she is the one who showed me by watching what she does. She showed me what to look for. Uh, and she,
Oh,
as
yeah,
far as I'm concerned,
absolutely.
she's responsible for me spotting that thing. I would never know to look for that if it wasn't for her and the amazing video she takes. And I just appreciate her very much, man.
Oh, amen. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Bama Bigfoot. Uh,
Amen. Thank you,
all right.
man.
This is from Jennifer Noble. She wanted to know how tall was the dogman creature that we saw. Um, I'm thinking he was around 6 foot. He was
Yeah.
squatted down when we first seen him, and then uh, he kind of dropped. He went way low, and then he laid down, and he would lift his head up, and that's when we turned and got out of there. Uh, let's see. I just missed one. Okay, this is a good one. Sally, this is from a Smith with no name. He says, are you aware of the cases of extended involvement with these creatures leading to being subject to paranormal activity, of paranormal happenings in
Yeah,
your house? Yeah, we had talked
yeah, I
about
got
that
things
once
happening.
before.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
stuff that happens in the house, and none of our curtains, like we'll leave, and none of our curtains is moved in the house, but we smell something cooking or something once in a while. I think it's the guy that used to live here, smell, cooking and stuff. He smell eggs and bacon, and we're in bed, and I'm like, well, there ain't nothing on. I don't know if the smell from the day before, but we haven't had no
yeah.
bacon and eggs for a while.
I wouldn't mind having a ghost that'd make me bacon and eggs. I'd be
Yeah, I
happy with
love bacon
that.
and egg sandwiches.
Uh, this is from Peter. Uh, Peter Birdsall. Has anyone ever explored the local caves? And I think that would be referring to you, Sally, because we don't have caves right here where I'm at. Do you know if anybody's explored those caves
Well, they
that
have
Frank was
some.
talking about earlier?
In another caves down on the one river road, and people used to go in there. When I was young, we used to go in there and park. When you're out dating, we go in there and park. Then we start hearing something or see, and then start seeing oh bats and stuff. And we get out of there. We didn't stay very long. We seen the
Oh
bats or
yeah,
heard the bats, and we back in the car. But yeah, people's been in caves and stuff. It's like I told you before. They said it was a Grafton monster,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I remember you
I
telling me
never
about that.
could tell the Grafton monsters. And people's been in the cave there, and they've been in the caves. Where'd you say the other?
Yeah, you asked me too quick.
They was in a, they said something down here one day. I was listening to somebody down here talking about the caves and stuff down here close to where we are. One guy over, oh, what is it, about 2 mile or about 2 hour drive from us, they set the caves on fire over next to where we was going to buy a house at if we ever sold this one, because they said there was what do they call it, a fire dragon like Sasquatch, and the
Oh
mountain
yeah,
monsters are the ones that introduced me to that one. And I don't know how true it is with them carrying on the way they was, but
yeah, yeah. This is just from Bama Bigfoot. She says, "Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Donnie. You were very welcome. God bless you. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, ma'am. You
We're
rock. You rock, ma'am. I promise you. I think the world of you.
and I wanted to. This is Dundee Woolley. It's 2:30 in the morning here and enjoying the show. Thanks, Donnie. Thank you for being here with us. I'm sorry
Wow,
we're
on that
keeping you
chat.
up so late. Australia, I would imagine.
Wow.
Uh, let's
Hello there.
see. Yeah, that's on the other
That's
side of the
cool.
world.
That's
Yep.
very cool.
Let's see where we're at. I'm trying to catch up now. Okay, where? Just give me a minute. I'm sorry. This and see now, Jeff, as you and Donnie were walking out, did you see any movement of them?
Never saw
Uh,
any movement. The whistles was the only. I heard them. I could hear them coming. It was loud, pronounced,
yeah,
which sounded like jogging to me, not running more than walking. It sounded to me like they were running towards us.
yeah. The only movement that we actually seen was that werewolf looking thing and the that big headed thing that was
And the
just behind him with
and
the
the
big
big one,
eyes.
yeah.
And
You saw the one that run right before we saw that one I saw.
yeah,
You
there's a
saw that thing,
part
something run.
uh, I heard something shoot past us and it scared me, and I whipped around with the camera. And as soon as I turned the camera back, I thought it was just shadows. And for an instant, you could see something dart off. And I don't know what it was. It was a little further back. Well, I'm hitting everybody. Let me see. Let me get down. I got to get called up. Guys, if I skipped y'all, please forgive me. It's really hard to do this sitting on the roof. And I'm sitting on a brick with a thick shirt over it. And my rear end's a little sore.
I
Uh,
bet.
This Malachi says, "You guys are awesome. Thank you for answering my questions. You are absolutely welcome. Thank you for being here with us."
Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
Uh,
something ran
there.
past it. Yeah.
Oh, that was sweet. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you, Butch.
yeah, that's my brother Butch. He's a good man.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's nice of him. Thank you.
yeah, we got so many people in here that are part of our family. What a blessing it is. I'm so thankful. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, Dee. I just these people are my family. I mean, the two you see on screen with me, I love them like family, and everybody in the chat. There's a few people I don't know, I don't recognize, but hey, you're part of the family now. We love you and bless you. Thank you for being here.
I can tell you all that Donnie talks about y'all all the time. Uh, from the time I'm with him, it's nothing but just wonderful things about you people. He
Yes,
loves y'all.
absolutely.
Uh,
I wasn't laughing at you, Jeff. Jamie had posted that on there. Donnie needs a beanbag. Yeah, I,
I
I do. I absolutely do. My
was afraid.
backside is.
I was afraid he was gonna get beamed up there tonight.
Yeah. And there's Kelly says, "Hi, Donnie and Jeff." Hi, Kelly.
Hi,
Thank you for
Kelly.
being here. Yeah, I believe Kelly was with us The last time I had Sally on, if I'm remembering right, Kelly was with us there too.
Appreciate her.
What a blessing. Uh, there's Baylin again. Um, thank you all for this show. Donnie, Jeff, and Sally, God bless you. God
God
bless you
bless
as
you
well.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
here's one. This is one you and I had talked about when you were down, Jeff. Um, Brad Forsey says, Donnie, have you seen any ghost lights, orbs, or strange lights in your woods?
I
Yes,
I
yes.
never have.
Um, I don't know. I don't know the difference between an orb and a um, just a light. What I've seen were, if you can see me right about there, about that big. It was just a ball of light, and it looked like had a thin outline around it, and it was brighter on the outside than it was the inside. You could almost see through it, but I wasn't seeing them through my camera. I was seeing them with my eyes, and as I tried to film it, it didn't show up on the camera at all.
Wow.
And there were it was two of them. I don't remember the time. The sun was going down. I was trying to get back to the truck. I was hunting, and I'm not going to be in the woods when it's dark. And it was starting to get dark under the trees, and I was scooting pretty good, and I seen them off to my side about 110 yards from me, and they were just floating about 5 foot off the ground. And I thought it was one of them glow sticks. You break and you shake them, and they'll glow for about 8 hours. That's what I thought it was. And then they circled around me. I stopped because they were going the same direction I was, but I would have to make a left-hand turn, which would have put me walking toward them, and I didn't want to do that. I thought it was people. And they got up in front of me at a certain point, and they turned and they come across. I watched them from probably 80 feet, I guess, about 70 or 80 feet. But when they got in front of me, I could see through. It wasn't bright, but I could see through it. It was definitely two round things of light, and then they just like they popped like a bubble. They were gone. I don't know
I,
what they
I've ne-
were.
I've never seen anything like that myself.
Yeah, that's the only time I've seen them. I've seen the little balls in the camera screen before, the little light balls that'll shoot by, and that's actually in that room in our house that we had all that paranormal stuff happening there for a while, a couple of years ago. It was in there that I got that. I'd missed a question, and I'm trying to find it. Oh, I don't know where it went. Yeah, there's Martha. Donnie had a rock concert last show. Yeah, we the last one was with
Sure
Jeff.
did.
Yeah, we had a good show. If I could have stayed on, I kept getting knocked off.
Yeah, he was rocking out,
Uh,
man.
uh, Lane wants to know, Jeff, do you have a YouTube channel?
I have one, but I've never put anything on. I didn't even really know I had one, to be honest with you, till I looked. But I do. I've never put anything on it before.
Well, what are you waiting on? You better get that thing going.
L- Lane's real nice. I hear good things about her.
Yeah, we've got uh, such a wonderful group of people, and some of you guys may not know. I need to get this out. It's not part of uh, this show. It's not part of this topic at all. But many of you guys may have missed the post. Miss Carol Maynard, Kyle Maynard's mother, she passed away on the morning of the 20th. Her service is going to be done by her husband, Mr. Larry Maynard. He is a minister, and I put a post up on the channel in the community tab for the service, and the family wants all of you guys to be there. The service time is it's 3 o'clock Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and it's at Emmanuel Christian Church, I believe is the name. I've got all the details and the link in the post on Standing Goats Rescue in the community tab. So if you guys have time, please check out that service. This one is literally going to be one for the history books. This is a husband, a dedicated husband, father, and grandfather, and he's going to be doing the service for his wife's funeral. Um, if any of y'all are interested in sending flowers or any type of gifts to the Maynards for the service, before Miss Carol departed here, she did ask that I let you guys know she would prefer that you do not purchase flowers to send or to buy any items. If you would, instead, please take that money you were going to spend on flowers and donate it to the foundation that she established. I believe it's Lake House Ministries. I've got it. It's also on that post. The address for that, it is a tax write-off, tax deductible, and Kyle Maynard will send you a receipt and a thank you note for doing that. I wanted to get that out. Uh, the Maynards are very dear to me. Kyle's, I love him as though he were my flesh and blood. And I just want to make sure you guys were aware of that. But that's this Saturday is the service. 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central.
I said, was that a rocket?
I just wanted to say something to Lane real quick. I consider myself a better backup man than I would a front man with a camera. I feel more comfortable in that role. And I just want to let you know that it's not that I wouldn't like doing that. I simply don't. I haven't.
Yeah, I don't think you stopped long enough to do nothing like that.
No.
Johnny Half, I think Johnny's speaking to the entire channel, everyone in chat, and us three as well. Johnny Half says, God bless all of y'all, coast to coast and beyond. God bless you too,
brother.
Johnny. Amen. Yeah, what a good man. Let's see, make sure B-Lynn says, good night. Good night. Thank you for being here with us. We're kind of off topic. We're all over the place tonight, but we're three friends having a conversation, and we just happen to want every one of you guys to be part of it with us. Thank you for being here. There's Jennifer Noble says, great show, Donnie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all are absolutely the reason that we do this. And there's Butch, my brother Butch. It's a great show. Donnie, Jeff, and Sally, thank you so much for having us. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Butch. We
Absolutely.
Hey,
And
Donnie, I
there's,
just had a rock thrown at my house. I had to shut my door.
oh, wow. Did you guys in the chat catch that? They just had a rock hit the house while we
Uh-oh.
have her on a live stream.
Thank
Uh-oh,
you,
maybe.
Lane. We appreciate that so much. Thank you very much.
It don't like me having the light on.
You don't like the lights on.
Yeah, it seems what you told me through the past that we've been talking, that anytime you have them outside lights on, they start hitting your house and throwing stuff. This is from Jamie. Says, thank you, Donnie, Jeff, and Sally. Great show. Thank you, Jamie. God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
Jamie.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. Thank you so much. She's
Yes,
really nice.
absolutely. Are the rocks still hitting the house right now?
No, he just hit one time. And I had the door open.
Let's don't get her pelted, Donnie.
Yeah.
I shut the door
Yeah.
up part of the way, and I got the light still on because I'm afraid to turn it off until I shut this door.
Yeah, I thought I heard something, but it may have been you closing the door. These things are
hit before it bothered the door. It hit the top of the door here above where I'm sitting.
let's see. It's seen Angela, I see your question on there. You asking me what was my question? I don't remember. I get sidetracked so easy. Please forgive me. I've got everything the doctors have came up with. I have a short attention span. That's all. God made me different.
Yeah, the Heinz 57.
Absolutely. Yeah, Angela, she's a good friend, and we've been speaking for a long time, and we talk back and forth by email a lot. And Jeff actually got to see just how many emails I get. Is I can't keep up with
Oh,
them.
it's incredible. I don't see how you do
It's
it though.
so hard. And then taking care of the animals and doing everything that's required to be done around here, and it's just me. We don't have any help, and I have to make time to get away long enough to get some footage filmed. I do get a lot of footage, but I don't post it all because I don't get as much activity as you would think looking at the videos. I probably film 25 hours of video before I get a stick thrown at me, and I only post I only post the stuff that has the activity in it. There's Angela. Yes, Angela, that's right. I was wondering. She says the question was whether or not they're supernatural beings, and yep, I
Got
I
different
wonder
opinions about
that.
that. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
about supernatural, extraterrestrial maybe. They are different.
yeah,
They are definitely different than anything on Earth.
yes, absolutely. There's Butch. Butch says, "Yes, Donnie, be real careful climbing down off the roof." If you guys didn't know, I am literally on top of my roof because the signal is horrible. We've been on a lot of temporary towers since Hurricane Michael wiped out all the towers south and east of us, and I think they have taken one of the towers away. As of a few weeks ago, the signal went from having 3 bars inside our home to where I have one if I hold the phone up. If I got it in its pouch, I don't get any, no calls, I don't get anything. Um, Let me see. I thought I seen a question on there. Let me find it. Uh, a Smith, a no name. And what's that? We got to throw a rock on the neighbor's roof. Well, okay. Um, Back in a minute.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And there's
Get them
Stephanie.
all.
We love you too. Yes, you have no idea how blessed it is the feeling to have so many people in a tight knit family like we have on Standing Goats Rescue. It is. I never imagined that. I followed a lot of channels before I ever got this one going, and I've seen so many cruel and just absurd comments on so many other channels, and
No sense in that.
uh, no, we don't get but very few on here. I do get them. People don't like what I'm doing, and I get a lot of rough stuff, and I am absolutely up for someone not believing in what I share with you guys. Uh, yeah, let's have dialogue. Let's talk about it. That's the only way we learn, and we all learn through the dialogue, good or bad. But there's a way to do it without insulting anybody, and we're not going to do the insults. If that happens, we'll just shut them down, kick them off. Kelly says, put Christmas lights outside for the Bigfoot people. They'll, I think they'll steal them from here.
Yeah, they don't like lights, don't they, Sales?
No, they pop the lenses off.
They
Yeah, I ain't
sure
buying no
do.
more. There's Hoosier Squatch. Sally, this is for you. He says, throw some rocks back. Where they're throwing the rocks at your house, get out there and throw them back at them.
No.
Well, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I,
would if I wasn't dark out.
yeah, that's my sister Martha. You know, this says it all right here. We got a button to take care of the uglies. When we get the people on here that are knocking down other people, you know, we don't want it. We don't want someone to come up in the chat and knock down someone else in the chat or one of the guests on the show. There's no room for it.
Thank you, Martha.
Um, yeah, and there's Meredith. Hey, Meredith. We love all of our Bigfoot family and friends. Amen. Absolutely. I had missed one. I missed a question on there. I got to laughing at what Sally was saying with the rock hitting it. Now I can't find it. If I missed your question, please forgive me. It was not intentional. I'm trying to keep up with them. I have to get kind of close to the screen. I'm not trying to put myself out there. I'm not a I'm not something to look at. My dog. For you guys that don't know, I'm missing the teeth on the bottom. One of the dogs we rescued, Petey, him and his sibling were severely abused by the previous owner. And we worked with the county that's north of us, since we are a goat rescue, and taking those two dogs because they were going to a kill shelter if I didn't take them. Well, we were taking him for his first vet visit to get him checked up and get shots and make sure that they were in good health. And he was so scared of me handling him, he wouldn't get in the car. So I bent over to pick him up, and he's about 40 pounds. He's a bulldog, and he went to jump between my hands as I bent over, and he head butted me in the mouth, and he broke the roots off my teeth in the bottom.
Oh man.
And my Medicare doesn't cover that, but it's all good. I can't take them with me. They're just temporary anyway. I'll buy me some new ones one day. But guys, we've been on here almost 2 hours, Sallie and Jeff. I do want to get up with you guys outside of the channel and come together. I'd like to do a special show. We've got a friend, family of the channel in Canada, and he had a sighting. And this is where we go into, uh, you hear a lot of people saying the difference in an encounter and a sighting is the sightings when you see him a mile away, and an encounter is when he's up close. And uh, I don't believe in that. Anything that you see that impacts your life is an encounter. If it's at a quarter of a mile away and it impacts you, that's an encounter.
I agree.
And he's seen one, him and three of his buddies in a Jeep 16 years ago, and he can't get it off his mind today. It has really gotten into him, and he's an awesome man. I love him to death, and I'm going to try to get him to come on. He gets excited. This man is, he's got more energy and in better health than I have ever been in my life, period. I mean, he's not much younger than me, and I would not want to tie up with him. I mean, that boy'd fight for 10 hours straight and never be out of breath. He's in wonderful
Oh, they
shape, but
got some big old boys up there,
he's
man. Lumberjacks and stuff. They got big old
yeah,
boys.
he's not big. He's in his 40s, and he looks like he's 16 years old and nothing but muscle. I mean, he's an awesome man. He's got this spirit of gold. He's just is so pleasant talking to him, and he's been working really hard. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I am going to reach out and check on him again. And I want to get him on to let him talk about what he's seen. And he only had that one encounter, but to get out there, the effects that it can have on your life. And I understand it fully, since I have had an encounter, but there's a lot of people that have never had an encounter and they don't understand it. And I want to get
Well,
him on to where he can talk about
yeah,
that. And hopefully,
he be among friends. Ain't
Does
nobody
he
heard nothing
eat
from
a
that
lot
boy.
of stuff
yes.
from the does he eat a lot of stuff from the ground and not from the store?
I didn't hear you now. The stuff
Does
on the
he
ground.
does he eat does he eat more stuff from the outside from nature than he does from the store? Because a lot of times
Oh
if
yeah,
you eat
yeah,
from the ground or in the woods, because him being in Canada, they usually eat more out of the woods than they do from the store.
yeah. He's very conscious on what he eats. He does whitewater rafting. He's a martial art specialist, and he's just the man's a jack of all trades, of everything, and he's good at everything he does. The mountain biking, the hiking, he does it all. And
Do
I'd be
not
lucky if
spar with Bigfoot.
um, I'd probably rather spar with a Bigfoot than I would him. Just
Oh,
he's incredible. Let me see. I want to put this up. Uh, Meredith, is it probably your missing headlight? Nani, for your security lights. The Meredith, I have not replaced those lights. For you guys that don't know, I have lights at all four corners of the house. There's a total of 8 of them, and something keeps breaking the lenses off of the lights that face the woods on both ends of the house. And I would replace them, brand new lights, and I was not buying junk. I buy the name brand lights, put them up. Sometimes it'll be a day or two. Sometimes it may be 2 or 3 weeks, but I'll come out and the lens is gone. And I've only found one lens in the yard, and it was missing about a quarter of it. Between a quarter and a third of it was gone. But that's all I found. And Jeff found one on the property, the woods north of us, and it was wedged. There was a oak tree about this big around that had broke off, and it was shoved down into the fibers of the tree, and the tree is not rotted. Very, very hard.
It's still there. I saw it with binoculars last time I
Yeah,
was there.
yeah, it's still there. I have to. We need to go down and do a live stream over there. Let me see. I just missed one.
Like a reflector light is what it looks like.
Let me find it. It's way up there, I'm sure. Oh, doggone it.
I wish I had a way to show a picture. I could show a picture of it if I had a way
This
to do it.
this is Lane. Wants to know where can we donate to your rescue and for you to use for your research. Lane, thank you for asking that. And it's a little odd the way we're set up. They would not allow me to register to sign up as a 501c3. I cannot accept donations, but if somebody contributes to the goats or wants to purchase something for the goats, that's all legal. Um, I just can't have somebody, I can't ask for donations, but people do sometimes contribute to us. And I do have a PayPal that we use for the goats. I prefer that nobody sends any money, any funding for the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot side of the channel. I believe that Holy Spirit has led me to do this with these animals, with the goats and the dogs and the animals that we rescue. I believe wholeheartedly that's what I was led to do. The Bigfoot stuff is just, it's a hobby, it's a fascination due to my encounter. I'm just kind of, uh, I'm at the point of life to where I want answers. And I don't want to find them when I'm in the woods, but I want to find the evidence to prove that they're here, that they're real. If I can save one person by doing that, prevent one person from suffering PTSD or from getting hurt or anything happening to them, then it's been well worth it. I do have I think I have a banner on here I can put up. It's got our PayPal information. Let me check right quick. I know we had done it a long time ago, and I've never put it up because I don't want people to think that I'm begging for anything. I'm not. God does provide for us. Yes, I do. I'm going to put it in the ticker. There we go at the bottom. Lane, that's it right there in the bottom. That's our PayPal link. Jeff, pull your mic back just a little bit, please. Is that yours doing that?
I keep hearing something myself. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's some noise in the background. Let me find that other question. I try to keep up with you guys. I'm not a fast reader.
Sounds like something squeaky.
Yeah, I can hear that too. Yeah, this is this is a Smith with no name. He says, Donnie, you should wire your lights up to the mains. That'll give them a shock.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Jeff and I talked about hooking the electric fence charger to it, and maybe that would stop them. I just don't want to burn the house down. Stephanie says, thank you, Jeff and Sally. It's always so nice to see you all.
Thank
Stephanie,
you, Stephanie.
thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
so much,
absolutely.
man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Oh, I wish I could find that question. I'm sorry. I skipped someone's question on here. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. Peter Birdsall says it all right there. Holy Ghost, Spirit of Truth. Amen. Amen, brother.
Amen.
Amen.
Uh, but yeah, I do want to bring you guys back on. I want to get up with my brother in Canada, and if we can get him on, I just want him to just to bring a little bit of enlightenment and awareness to just seeing one of these things can impact your life to the point that it can affect you. And
Yeah.
his encounter was 16 years ago, and he's still uh, having issues from it 16 years later, and he hasn't seen another one since. And that's just it says it all. You know, these things, they do something to you. But guys, we're going to close it out. We're at the 2 hour mark, and we've probably given a lot of people sprained ears and sprained eyes, and a lot of people have to work. I want to thank the our family in the chat. I want to thank the moderators. God bless you all. Thank all of y'all for being here. Our moderators are the heart and soul when we do these live shows. They keep the boogers out and the bad out, and we owe everything to them. Uh, but to our family out there, God bless you all. Thank you for joining me. And if y'all are interested in watching the service for Miss Carol Maynard, just go to Standing Goods Rescue page on YouTube, and under the community tab, there's a post in there that has the link with the date and time of when it's going to happen. And it's also got Miss Carol's foundation that she established. It's listed in there as well. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thanks,
And
everybody. God bless
we will
y'all.
have you on again. Sally, Sally, thank you for being here with us. We love you. We honor you.
Miss Sally, it was a real
And
pleasure. It was a real pleasure being here with you, Miss Sally. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
and if
Yeah.
you guys didn't know, that man that's on the other side of Sally, that's Frank, that's her husband, and he's been instrumental to her coming forward and helping her remember a lot of things and put a lot of stuff together. Frank, thank you. We love you, brother. God bless
Thank
you,
you, sir. Thank you.
He's going to see if
brother Jeff.
he's going
Yes.
outside to see about the Sasquatch through the rock down and hit the building down there now. We got the light on. He don't like the light on.
Now, well, be careful out there. Make sure he's got him one of them Bigfoot be good things in his pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
watch
God
your
bless
brothers
you.
there.
Y'all have a good night. And until next time, you guys be safe.
Thank all
all
y'all.
right.
Thank y'all. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.